My next guest, he is an entrepreneur. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is also the CEO and founder of Iridium Sports Agency. Please welcome onto the show, Mr. Jason House. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for taking the time, man. I know you're a very busy individual, and we appreciate you stopping by here on the show.
No problem at all.
How are you? I know you're busy. You're a busy person. You're the founder of Iridium, so you're busy with over 100 clients. How has everything been going for you right now?
It's been going good. It's been a great start to the year. We've had a lot of clients fighting. Obviously, we wanted Brandon to get the decision 2 weekends ago, but
Yeah.
we'll get back and we'll get that fourth one going. But overall, business is great. We're really developing a good culture here at the agency, and I'm really excited for a lot of the clients that we have fighting this year, and some that will be making their next step to the big leagues as well.
Now, and it's crazy, right? For a lot of people on the show, I've had fighters, actors, smaller entrepreneurs, but you have Iridium Sports Agency. You've signed over 100 fighters into the UFC. You have more fighters under that belt. You have over 22 fighters alone fighting this weekend. How did we get here, Jason? How did you get to the position that you are right now?
I've been very blessed to have a great team behind me. I think the team that we have here at the agency doesn't get enough credit. Um, but Jeremy Lukow, who's like my partner in this business, and he's been with me for 10 years now, and he's done a phenomenal job of developing talent throughout the regional scene. Ed Cap handles all of our PR. He does a great job of making sure all of our guys are getting their name out there in the media and getting our guys the right exposure that they need leading up to their fights and after their fights. And we have Jacob Parker, who does all of our marketing for us, all the sponsorships and endorsements. And then we have agents like Lance Body and Joe Wooster and Raul Arbizu, who really, have done a great job of finding the best talent in America and developing them, and just making sure that every year we're reloading and not rebuilding.
Absolutely. Now, where did this idea come from for you?
When I was in law school, originally I thought I was going to be a district attorney, and then I was meeting with the Riverside DA's office. I think it's when Schwarzenegger was in office, and I think they passed a bill that they had to cut back on the workforce, or something had happened where like they said basically they couldn't hire me for like a year after I'd graduated. So that kind of put that on hold for a while. I was like, wow, that's not going to happen. And then I was working at a construction defect firm, and the pay was good, but I didn't really feel fulfilled in doing that. I didn't really feel good for my day to day, like how I was handling my business. I just kind of, when you're the big defense firm, you're kind of punking the small homeowner. I just didn't have that vibe that I was looking for in my life. And then a sports agent came and spoke to our school, and he was representing MMA fighters. At the time, I was training MMA at Team Oyama in Irvine. And man, I must have called him every day for a week, just blowing him up. Like, hey man, like, I'll work for free. I'll do anything. Like, just please, like, give me a chance. And, we went out to lunch, and he saw that I was very knowledgeable in MMA, and he gave me an opportunity. So in that agency, I really learned a lot. They had a marketing director, they had an operations guy, they had an attorney on staff. So I really started to see how an agency should look like, or how it could be formed. Eventually I saw some things in the agency I didn't agree with. That's why I left and went on my own. But being there, I learned a lot. I worked with a lot of great people, and I learned kind of what the structure in my mind of what I wanted to build. The hard part over the last 12 years was really finding the right people to fit the spots that I had in my mind for the business.
Now, again, it's scary. Am I right?
Yeah.
When you're going out
Oh,
into
super
this
scary.
long,
Yeah.
what kept you going, especially in this kind of line of work?
I'd be lying to you if I told you there wasn't a few times I didn't talk to my family, or call Jeremy and say, hey man, I want to quit. There were some definitely hard times. I passed the bar in July of 2009, and I was serving tables in Outback as an attorney in 2009 and 2010, while working as an agent during the day to get the company going. So it was really rough. I mean, I remember one point, it was like a week before I got my first UFC client in, I almost just phoned it home. I was like, you know what? My friends that graduate law school, they're driving nice cars, Beamers, they have condos in Newport Beach, and I'm living at home, with my parents still driving a Hyundai. I was thinking like, this isn't the way I want to go. I think I was coming in on 25, 26 years old at that point. I'm like, man, I'm getting old. And man, luckily, like the next week, Sean called me and signed one of my guys to the UFC, and I felt like that was the end that I needed. And once that happened, I got a lot of momentum, a lot of, then another one got signed, and another one got signed, and I felt like it was the push I needed.
How many fighters were you able to get your first tier? Because I'm assuming, again, that's, slow. You're getting to
Yeah.
know things, the systems, everything that you're
Yeah.
doing. How did that first year go for you? I mean, was it a long haul getting someone signed to the UFC at the beginning?
So my first year at the agency, I started this in 2009. So I think I signed maybe 3 or 4 clients that weren't in the UFC, but just general clients, in 2009. And then in February of 2011, I got my first client into the UFC.
How did that feel?
Oh, it's the best day of my life.
Yeah.
I thought I won the Super Bowl. I'll never forget that moment. I was jumping up and down and screaming and, fist pumping in the air. It was amazing.
I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. And now, did you ever think you would get to this point? I've followed the page for a while now. Over 100 fighters. Or 100 fighters in the UFC, man. Crazy milestone, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's weird because when I think about it at the time, I was just so process oriented. I'm just going to focus on the process. Focus on the process. If you focus on the process, the results will come. Well, you do the process for 10, 12 years, and then sometimes you come up for air and you look and you're like, wow, the results are here. Now I knew our process was correct and I thought that we would have this success. I think it would be this fast. No. Did I think it'd be this large? Maybe not quite, but I knew that if I stayed true to the course and stayed true to the process, that it would work. I mean, you see it every day. You may not see the macro success of it, right? But you see the micro, right? You see you're choosing the right fights for your fighters. They're getting the wins. They're getting their sponsors. They're getting their media. You're signing the right people that fit your culture. You add another employee to the agency that fits your company. You add another partner that fits your company. You're doing the right things, and it's so slowly but surely. I was reading like Will Smith's book, right? He was kind of saying like how you don't focus on the wall. If you lay it brick by brick, and you make every brick perfect, in due time you'll have a wall. And I kind of feel like that's what we've been doing, right? I'm just focusing on laying one brick at a time, perfectly laid down. And I know if I do that every day, the rest will be there for itself.
Now, doing what you're doing, I'm assuming a key component is time management. You're a very busy individual. You have a lot of fighters. We're talking about 100 people signing the UFC, but there's more. There's more people, and there's people that are aspiring to get to that level. How do you manage your time, or how essential is time management in what you're doing?
I think it's everything. To be honest with you, this will sound weird. I think sometimes if I do stress, I stress my time schedule. Does that make sense? Like maybe I should do this at 6 a.m. and maybe I should, if you really start planning everything out, I have to be very methodical in my scheduling, get up early every morning, usually around 5 a.m., do my morning routine, do the accounting, contact my clients, send some emails out, do a workout, read my book. Kind of the routine is crucial. Because what happens is you have to crush the morning, because as the rest of the day begins or starts, there's just so much going back and forth, right? Like it's almost like you have to be proactive in the morning so that you can just be reactive in the reactive in the afternoon and evening, right? Yeah. Because things happen, right? The guy has COVID or there's an injury or there's always something. Madness. So you have to really own the mornings and get what you need to get done in the mornings. That way, the rest of the day, you can take calls, talk to clients, give them your undivided attention, love them, be there for them. That's kind of what really has been working for me.
When did you know this was going to be a success for you? When it would work, when it would hit? Was it after your first UFC client?
No, I don't know if I knew then. I knew then I was having a really good time. I knew I was enjoying my life and loving it, but I don't think I knew at that time it was going to be a success. I think when the Contender Series came out in 2017, I thought it would be a success.
Okay. So that, I mean, and it's huge, right? It offers opportunities for other fighters to be able to get to the big league, which is what everyone wants.
I feel like in 2017, when Contender Series started, we started really getting a decent market share. I thought, okay, it could be good. In 2020, when we stayed in the Airbnb in Vegas, when I was thinking about making this move out here, as probably when I really thought in my mind, like, you know what, I need to come for it all. Right now is the time to take it all. Like I remember looking at my wife and looking at Jeremy and saying, guys, now is the time. I'll never forget it too, because the Last Dance was on, that's when it came out with Jordan, and I was watching it every morning, and we're all staying in this Airbnb and we're putting fighters in the UFC left and right because of COVID. And I remember thinking, like, here's the time, here's my moment. If I really want to go all in right now and really be the guy, it was then.
So now you're in Vegas, correct?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going right now as far as MMA. Now, Jason, real quick, as we're nearing the end, just a couple questions
Yeah.
here as far as some of your fighters. You are, again, hardworking individual. I love how you put things in perspective. Unfortunately, the decision didn't go Brandon's way, and I love, the quote. It took you 3 days to respond to everyone, and then when you lost, it took you 3 minutes. That's
Yeah.
reality. That's
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
For you, as far as Brandon, has done multiple interviews. He said that he wants the fourth fight. For you, I mean, do you think that's a possibility to get to the fourth fight, or do you think they're going to go in a different direction? What's that feeling like to have your client want that for you?
I think everyone wants the fourth fight. I
Yeah,
think in every way you look at this fight, it's good. It's good for business, right? It's a
yeah,
fight everyone wants to see. It'll do well in sales. It's part of a legacy, right? I mean, what do you even call a fourth fight? I don't know what do you call after a trilogy? Octology? I don't know what the word is.
is it quad? I think it's a quad.
Quadology. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
quads. There you go. Shout out
Quadology.
to Warzone for that.
And to be honest, for us, I was very, obviously I was sad and hurt on Saturday. I thought we did enough to win, but we're not here to debate the judge's decision. But when I really look at it now, this is amazing. This is an opportunity to leave a legacy. How many people get to do an octology or whatever you want to call it in their lives? How many people get to be the opportunity to be part of something this big? And I know Brandon's motivated as hell. I'm motivated as hell. Everyone on the team is motivated as hell. And I'm excited. These are things you dream about as a kid, right? To be a part of something like this, to go to battle. And yeah, it's history. And to be honest, like, I mean, I almost have a love for Figueiredo, right? You in a way, because it's like you're sharing so much time and energy with him and on him. It's history, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to solving that puzzle once again. The challenge is what gets us up every morning, right? And this is awesome.
Do you think it kind of went his way, or he was able to do enough for himself because of his Henry Cejudo and the ties with branding and the whole changing in training? Do you think that had something to do with it?
You know what, they came up with a different game plan, and obviously they fought a different fight, and I think that's kind of what led them to victory. I'm not afraid to give another man credit where credit is due. However, I do think that we did enough to win that fight. I thought we won rounds 2, 4, and 5. And, I'm excited to put this to bed and fight this fourth fight.
So you think it's a really good possibility you're able to get that fourth fight?
I do.
Okay. Now, the last question here, Jason, Korean Zombie, one of your guys. He's going to be fighting Alex Volkanovski, right? It's a tough puzzle to crack. Why do you think it's going to go Korean Zombie's way come April 9th?
Without giving too much of the game plan away, I feel like, our strategy is on point. I feel there's some physicalities that we have an advantage on into that fight. And I just know where Korean Zombie is mentally and physically right now. He's the best he's ever been. And I'm confident that we're going to go in there and solve that puzzle that is Volkanovski. I mean, he comes from a great team, and I love him and his team. They've been great. And I'm excited. But I truly feel Zombie's going to get his hand raised. I do believe we finish Volkanovski, inside the distance.
Now, is there any fighters that people should be paying attention to the audience listening that may watch other events besides just UFC? You have a lot of guys fighting this weekend. Anyone just in particular, specific?
If there's 2 cards that people should watch on the regional scene on Fight Pass this weekend,
Yes.
They got to watch Fury FC on Friday 2/6. I mean, there's a ton of great talent on that card going on. I think that's going to be on San Antonio, Texas, and then that Sunday there's a FAC, and Dana White's going to be in the crowd. It's looking for a fight show, and that's going to be a great event as well. And I feel like there's at least 5 or 6 prospects on that card too that are undefeated. I think both of those events are where I think we have 4 or 5 in each card that I'm really excited for.
It's going to be an awesome one. I'm actually from San Antonio, so I'll be at that Fury card. So it's going to be a stacked card there. Anthony, I believe, is fighting on there, so it's going to be an exciting
fighting Battle Fez. I think I pronounced that last name right. I always butcher that. And then we got Masio Follin. He's fighting. I'm blanking out of his name. He's a gosh dang it. I'm breaking down his opponent's name. He's a jiu-jitsu player from the Midwest. I believe he's training with Kron Gracie right now. Oh, Jesse Butler. That's who it is. Okay. And that's going to be a great fight. Actually, I think Brandon's going out there to corner that fight. I think he's going to be out there. I think he's cornering Masio for that one. But we have a bunch of fighters on both cards, and I'm very excited for all of them. It should be a great events.
No, I'm very excited to see that. Jason, any last words before we let you go?
No, thank you for your time, man. Thanks for having me on. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Jason. To all the audience listening, check out Iridium Sports Agency, Jason House on Instagram as well. I'll have that all linked in the description below. To all the audience, thank you so much. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.